Good evening, ghouls and ghasts. My name is Scott J. Couturier. Thank you for joining me for this second installment of Readings in the Wider Weird. I made a single episode of it sometime last year in June, I think, and then kind of abandoned the project for a while, but we're back. It's September. I think it's time to savor of some spectral poetry, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to be reading several examples of that breed tonight from the latest issue of Weird Fiction Quarterly. This is the King in Yellow themed issue. If you can see the cover there, this just came in the mail today, so I had to get it on here as quick as possible. The amazing cover art by Robert H. Knox, which you can look at this 12 times and see something completely different every single time. Seriously, go get your own issue and check this cover out, okay? Actually, I turned the lights on a little up in here too so you could actually properly, ogle this. And I'm actually, before I read anything from the issue itself, I'm going to be reading you the back copy because I thought, okay, it's a King in Yellow themed issue. Are people who are watching going to be familiar with the King in Yellow mythos? Ambrose Bierce, Robert W. Chambers, Lovecraft carrying it, on as Lovecraft did. But instead of, providing any kind of a rundown, I thought I could just read the back copy of the issue, which is actually written by my partner, Shayne Keen. So here we go. We at Weird Fiction Quarterly have seen the yellow sign. It happened shortly after a copy of an infamous play, The King in Yellow, the second act of which is a doozy, appeared one day on the desk at headquarters. It wasn't that devastating, even though one of us, not naming who, immediately started gnawing at their wrists and had to have their face covered with a mouthless mask to keep from chewing. The rest of us, nearly 60 in all, began raving about yellow kings and weird places like Carcosa, where someone named Cassilda or Camilla threw a ball by a lake. In their masks, Carcosans cavort beneath the two suns, which shine a ghastly hue, and they want you to know, well, soon enough. Let's go see the awaiting king. He wears no mask. He asks the same of you. All right. And by the way, mostly there is some poetry featured in this issue, but this is actually primarily 500 word exactly flash fiction stories. So it's amazing. And both writing for it, editing it, it's an incredible process to write a story in 500 words. Let me tell you, whether it's successful or not. All right. Actually, the next thing I wanted to read you is actually taken from the play The King in Yellow, as it's featured in Robert W. Chambers' book, The King in Yellow. This is one of very few excerpts we actually have from the play itself. So if you do go mad, just close your eyes and count to 10 and it should wear off, okay? Along the shore the cloud waves break. The twin suns sink behind the lake. The shadows lengthen in Carcosa. Strange is the night where black stars rise, and strange moons circle in the skies, but stranger still is lost Carcosa. Songs that the Hyades shall sing where flap the tethers of the king must die unheard in dim Carcosa. Song of my soul, my voice is dead, die thou, unsung, as tears unshed shall dry and die in lost Carcosa. And that's Cassilda's song, The King in Yellow, Act 1, Scene 2. Again, as I mentioned, one of very few glimpses we actually have into the content of the play itself. And interestingly enough, Act 1 is referred to as kind of banal, a little disarming even, which this is from Act 1, which sends shivers up and down my spine. So you can only wonder what could possibly be contained in Act 2. The next poem I wanted to share from the issue is actually by Ashley Dioses. She and KA Opperman together are the dark poetry couple, and I'm actually going to be following up her poem with his poem, and that will conclude our reading for this evening. This is just the beginning, but I gotta get my wind up, a little bit. Okay. This is In Twilight Dances by Ashley Dioses. The stars, the moon, and suns all light the way, yet time begins within the king's mad mind. Why fear the shadowed passing of the day, when wildflowers are never in that bind? The sable waves of Lake Hali fall still against the sands of its ill-weathered shore. The Hyades guide revelers at their will, while pearls reflect those stars they so adore. Carcosa's court, enthralled in twilight dances, is ever lost to time's eternal season. Adorned in masks, they all succumb to trances, a masquerade that has no rhyme or reason. Thank you for joining me this evening. It's nice to be back in the saddle, such as it is. This is a new house. My partner and I moved into a new house. I'm filming this on a new computer. This is a new issue of Rare Fiction Quarterly. This is a new hat. It's all new, baby. Even though it looks like all of my hats generally do. It's got air holes in it, though, so it's nice to wear it in the summer. All right, the concluding poem that I want to share with you from this issue is Camilla's Masquerade by KA Opperman. Camilla held a masquerade in honor of the Yellow King. Such fantasies were there displayed as morn forbids remembering. Her gown was wove of golden silk, a saffron desert fraught with dunes. Above her cup of spiced milk, her eyes were twin Carcosa's moons. She hoped to catch the ghostly gaze of he who wore the pallid mask. Her heart was like a crimson maze wherein to meet him was the task. But when she drew across the room to glimpse behind his cryptic face, the Hyades spelled out her doom like eyes that blaze in icy space. That was good. Again, that was Camilla's Masquerade by K.A. Opperman. I actually noticed the Hyades are mentioned in all three poems that I read here, which was not intentional, interestingly enough. Once again, the latest issue of Weird Fiction Quarterly, The King in Yellow. There are quite a few other issues before this one. And the next issue that's going to be coming along very shortly is going to be an artificial intelligence themed issue. So hopefully you'll join us for that ride as well. My name is Scott J. Couturier. My name is Scott J. Couturier. Thank you very much for joining me for this installment of Readings in the Wider Weird. I really appreciate you watching. We'll be sharing a bunch more poetry and some short stories and such as the season goes on. Next up, I should have some poetry from the latest issue of Spectral Realms, number 23. Until then, happy September.